Joining us now for the latest update on the Anambra election from the Independent National Electoral Commission's office in Awka is our rights correspondent, Abel Ejikeme. Abel, good morning.
Please do. I hope you can hear us, Abel.
All right. Good morning. What's going on? We know that the election has been extended. What's the latest? What can you tell us, Abel?
Well, thank you very much. I can tell you authoritatively, because I've spoken with very senior officials here at the Independent National Electoral Commission, that collation of results will begin today by 10 a.m. at the Independent National Electoral Commission headquarters here in Awka. And it will definitely be overseen by the resident electoral commissioner. Just a few minutes ago when I came in, I saw some local government presiding officers and collation officers. They were here waiting just for 10 a.m. for the process to commence. Just behind me, you will see several equipment, several security officers that are on ground to ensure that this place is very, very secured and watertight to avoid any unforeseen circumstances. I was speaking with that senior official today and asked him again, what about those people who could not vote as a result of the malfunctioning of the Beaver's device? He specifically told me that those areas where voters couldn't cast on their ballot, they can come today or tomorrow due to the extension of the time from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That will be the ending of see the end of the voting. That was yesterday. But today, those people who couldn't cast their ballot yesterday, they could come today and they can still come tomorrow to cast their ballot. That's the latest here in Awka.
Well, Abel, it did appear yesterday that voter apathy wasn't an issue in your polling booth there. I did notice that you were, able to interview a lot of people, and there was a time where, people were waiting, even the elderly. What do you make of today? Do you think that these voters will turn out again today to vote?
Now, let's get something clear here. This is not a fresh election like yesterday. This is just those people who were on the queue yesterday but could not cast their ballot. The time for yesterday's election was 8:30 a.m. down to 2 p.m. But the commission extended the time to 4 p.m. So those people on the queue as at yesterday that could not cast their ballot, they could still come today to do same. They could also come tomorrow, being Monday, to also cast their ballot. It's not a fresh election. It's not a fresh voting. Those people who were on the queue as at yesterday, who couldn't cast their ballot as a result of the malfunctioning of the Beaver's device, they could still come today and they could still come tomorrow. I was told by senior officials here that if they do so today and tomorrow, those votes will still be valid.
I understand that, Abel. I just wanted to have a feel of what they, expressed to you. I'm sure there was a lot of frustration yesterday for those who could not vote.
Oh, yes. Of course, yes. And it just gets to tell you that the commission never had the time to properly sensitize voters on the new device that will be deployed for this election. The bimodal voter accreditation system is just new. This is the first time it's being used. The only time it was used was the Isoko 1 South constituency by-election in Delta State. But I've spoken with senior officials here. They say their technicians are on hand to ensure that this device doesn't malfunction again. We only wait and see if that's the case when they go back to cast their ballots today or tomorrow.
Have you been able to talk to any Inec officials and understand how they're responding to this situation? It is, of course, a good thing that if people were unable and eligible yesterday to vote, they are able to do so today and tomorrow being Monday. But I can imagine that too is a little disappointing in terms of the performance from INEC. There was a lot of anticipation, and in the run-up to this election, they were very confident that a situation like this wouldn't happen. If anything, the more fears were directed towards insecurity in the region, not that the machines that they had been so confident about would fail. So have they said anything? Have they been apologetic? Have they given you any type of feeling as to how they're responding to this unexpected extension?
Oh, of course, I spoke with, like I said, very senior officials here. They were very apologetic. They were very sorry for the hitches experienced yesterday. But they are very hopeful, they are very optimistic that today or tomorrow, when those voters who were disenfranchised as a result of the malfunctioning of that Beaver's device, when they come today or tomorrow, they were very hopeful when I spoke to them that the device will function optimally and very efficiently. Several voters that I spoke with yesterday, they were very disappointed. Many of them came as early as 7 a.m. to get accredited and cast their ballots, but they were several of them turned back as a result of not seeing those Inec officials on ground. And even when they came, it was one problem after the other. The Beaver's device was the biggest issue yesterday, despite the fact there were low voter turnouts. But the Beaver's device, the malfunctioning of that device was the biggest issue yesterday. And I only hope that the Inec Commission will get their acts together and get that straight.
All right, Abel, do we have an idea of the specific local government areas and constituencies that are involved, and if possible, the number of voters that were turned back yesterday and who are likely to come? From what you have said, it looks to me like you cannot commence a fresh accreditation. You must have been accredited one way or the other yesterday before you now return today or tomorrow to now exercise your franchise. Do we have an idea of how many people and in what specific locations INEC will be dealing with today and tomorrow?
You're very on point, Steve. Yesterday I was Oga ward level 017 and 018. The number of accredited voters in that polling unit alone was about 565. But the only number of people that could cast their ballot were about just 106. That tells you about 300 and something voters could not cast their ballot. I was speaking with very senior officials just a moment ago, and they say the only person who has the power to conduct fresh election or advise INEC to carry out fresh election will be the Resident Electoral Commission. There is a form called the EC40G, which the presiding officers at this polling unit will fill to indicate that a certain number of people could not cast their ballots as a result of the malfunctioning of this Beaver's device yesterday. That form will also be filled at the ward level, and that form, the EC40G, will also be signed by the collation officer at the local government level. So it is this form that will indicate and tell the commission or the resident electoral commissioner that a certain number of people in this local government and that local government that couldn't cast their ballot. It is from this form that the resident electoral commissioner will now tell the INEC that this is the certain local government where fresh elections need to be conducted. But aside that form being filled by these officers of the commission, no fresh election can be carried out. That is what I've been told by very senior officials here at the commission.
But taking that further, it looks to me like ostensibly the election cannot be called, the winner cannot be declared until elections are totally over, all the votes cast. Does it mean that the earliest that we can guess that a winner will be declared will be either very late on Monday, tomorrow, or Tuesday? Would that be correct?
To an extent, that will be very correct, because I was told again by very senior officials here that collation will begin by 10 a.m. And when this collation begins, several local government and collation officers will be presenting their results to the resident electoral commissioner. But when that results being brought forward to the resident electoral commissioner is being checked, and the results and the voters that were disenfranchised, if it is seen that the number of people that were disenfranchised could affect the total number of votes cast and could also affect the decision of INEC in returning a winner, then they will have a decision to make. But until then, we can only just wait and see and hope that there is a decision reached very soon.
Abel, before we let you go, I wonder if you have any information on the location of the ballots that were already cast. I'd imagine that people are also very anxious that those votes are kept as safely as possible. Do you have any information on its whereabouts as it stands now?
I don't have any information to that, but I know the local government collation officers are here, and it's expected that those results from the various and local governments that experienced these issues and those local governments where voters could cast their ballots. It's expected that those votes will be here and ready for the 10 a.m. collation when it actually begins very soon. I'm hopeful that those results are here waiting to be counted.
Well, all right, Abel, we will be keeping in touch with you as time goes by. Thank you very much.